Well, well, well. Here we are, my friends. Gang related, 1997. It's a neo-noir crime drama. It stars James Belushi, Dennis Quaid, James Earl Jones, David Paymer, and of course, 2PAC Shakur. It's famous for being his last movie. The movie opens up with Tupac as Detective Jake Rodriguez and his partner Frank Divinci, played by James Belushi. They're discussing going to Hawaii. There are a couple of crooked cops. They like to kill people and, plant evidence on others and things like that. And that's the movie in a nutshell. There is a character in this movie by the name of Joe Doe, or at least that's what he calls himself, because he can't remember his own name. He disappeared in 1989. He happened to be a surgeon. He did some work in Africa. He is portrayed by Dennis Quaid. It turns out that his wife and child, or I should say wife and children, died in a tragic car accident. I have to say I like it because it has stories within stories. I think the movie was great. I like the script. I think James Earl Jones did a fantastic job in this movie. I'd like to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Dustin Keckler. He's not here with us at the moment, but I hope that he comes back soon to YouTube. I miss him. He reviewed this movie for me, and I want to give a shout out to him. Anyway, back to the movie. I can't exactly find the setting of the film, but like I said, it was a great movie. Detective Rodriguez and Detective Divinci, they're two different personalities. You see, Detective Rodriguez, played by Tupac Shakur, was, I'm not going to say he was a good person, but he did have some sort of moral code that he went by. I think he really didn't want to do what he was doing, but he felt as if he had no choice. And he was coerced into doing a lot of what he did. Committing these murders and planting evidence. See, Rodriguez was also a gambler, and he had outstanding debts. And of course, he owed drug dealers. I guess this comes with the territory of being a crooked cop. I don't understand. A friend of mine pointed this out. What pisses me off 710, aka John Ferreira, pointed out, if he was a crooked cop, why couldn't he just arrest the people that were after him? I guess they didn't really think that through. Basically, to make it short, Joe Doe, aka William McCall, who's played by Dennis Quaid, is framed for a murder of some drug dealer. I forgot his name, but he's framed for that. And they put him in jail until they find out that Joe Doe is actually William McCall, who disappeared in the early 90s or the late 80s. As I told you, he was a surgeon, doing work in Africa. Tupac feels that he's somehow damned, that he might be going to hell. He doesn't come out and say it, but that's what he's talking about. He feels like he's going to hell because he's done these terrible things. James Belushi, on the other hand, he's the exact opposite. He feels like he's not really doing anything, tries to justify it and all that. They frame people, and they even get one of them people to testify and say that it was Joe Doe, aka William McCall, that killed the guy. But she lied. And then she gets arrested, but then James Earl Jones claims that he can get her off. He does this. Basically, Detective Rodriguez decides, I can't take this anymore. This is getting to me. And he says he hates his life. He goes home and he starts trashing his apartment. And he actually gets his wish because the drug dealers walk in and they kill him. So he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. The only ones left alive are the girl and Detective Divinci. Detective Divinci, we're led to believe that he's going to kill her, but I guess he doesn't. She ends up in the hospital. The detective, Divinci, played by James Belushi, he says, can you get me a car? He goes to this guy that has all these connections, and he says to the guy, can you get me a car out of town? Because he wants to run because he's a crooked cop, you know? Guy tells him, yeah, I can get you a car. He gets in the car, gets out of town, and this guy just shoots him and starts laughing. So it turns out that they both ended up dead, which happened to be karmic justice, I guess. Tupac Shakur and James Belushi in Tupac's final performance, Gang Related. Check it out. It came out in 1997. It was a posthumous film, simply meaning it was released after the death of Tupac Amaru Shakur. That was his last film, ladies and gentlemen. Tupac Shakur, Gang Related. Rest in peace, Tupac. Thank you to all the Tupac fans for supporting my reviews and supporting the legacy of Mr. Shakur. Tupac Shakur in Gang Related from 1997. Thank you very much, guys. Rest in peace, Tupac.